Time now for business, and we say hello to Cole Stangler once again.
François.
Keeping an eye on that market sell-off this Friday.
That's right. It's another very rough day. Investors unable to shake off worries over the impact of the coronavirus, driven by a sense it'll significantly dent global growth. European indices were in the red for the second day in a row on Friday. The FTSE sliding more than 3.5%. Losses on the CAC 40 here near 4%, actually slightly over 4%. Airbus shares taking a big hit after it said it failed to win any new aircraft orders last month. The DAX also with losses as Lufthansa announces a cut in flight capacity by 50% in the coming weeks. Now similar losses in the US, maybe not as bad, but still in the red. That's despite a relatively positive monthly jobs report for February, clearly though overshadowed by concerns over the virus. The Dow Jones down more than 2%, S&P also down more than 2.7%. Meanwhile, oil prices continuing a major tumble. West Texas Intermediate trading at about $42 a barrel, down more than 8%. Similar story for Brent crude, the international benchmark, trading around $46 a barrel. That's down all the way from around $69 a barrel back in January. Crude oil now at its lowest levels since late 2016. And there's another reason why oil prices continue to plummet. It's because a group of oil-producing countries has failed to reach a deal on how much to cut production. They just wrapped up a two-day meeting in Vienna, led by Saudi Arabia. OPEC had proposed cutting an extra 1.5 million barrels per day until the end of the year. Russia, though, refused to lend its support to the move. Moscow apparently content with the group's previous round of cuts that was just over 2 million barrels a day. Evidently, none of that has stopped prices from falling. Meanwhile, here in France, a government decree has taken effect that fixes the price of hand sanitizer for sale in pharmacies. While other countries haven't gone quite as far, price gouging is a global problem. Ellen Gainsford reports.
This French pharmacy has just received a fresh supply of hand sanitizer. Since the coronavirus outbreak began, it's flying off the shelves.
This will go in 2 hours. Normally, it would last 3 years.
To prevent profiteering, the French government has issued a decree regulating the price. A 50 milliliter bottle will be capped at €2 and a 100 milliliter bottle at €3. French customers are happy with the move.
It's very good. It means the product will be accessible to everyone.
Demand for these bacteria-killing gels has soared worldwide. In Sao Paulo, this factory is working around the clock to meet its orders, including from abroad. Hand sanitizer purchases in the US were up 73% in February. This pop-up shop for virus prevention supplies has opened to meet the need. Its owner is critical of price hiking, which is also a growing problem in the US.
When you go on Amazon and you see hand sanitizer for $50, you're like, well, am I gonna pay $50 for hand sanitizer here? And it's like, no, it's just $5.
Some third-party online sellers have inflated their prices. In the UK, a gel that sells for €4 is now being sold for €126 on Amazon. And there have been similar prices in France. While in Singapore, one online vendor is selling 2 bottles of sanitizer for the equivalent of nearly €470.
Next up to India, where the government has stepped in to save the country's 5th largest lender. Yes Bank has just been taken over by India's central bank. Under the emergency move, a separate publicly owned lender will take a large share of the firm. For now, withdrawals are limited and worried depositors formed lines Friday to take out cash. Here's how the governor of the Reserve Bank of India, or RBI, justified the move.
We have naturally a market-based resolution of the problem. A bank-led, investor-led resolution of the problem is always preferable. We have said that in our press statement yesterday also. So naturally, you have to give time to the bank, to the management, to take whatever steps or whatever efforts they need to take. And the bank did try over the last several months. So when we found that it was not working out, so therefore, and when we found that it was, we cannot wait and we should not wait any longer, RBI decided to intervene.
And finally, Chinese firm Kunlun has agreed to sell one of its most closely watched assets. It's reportedly reached a deal to sell gay dating app Grindr to a firm in the US. Kunlun came under fire when it acquired a majority stake in Grindr back in 2016. Some in the US warning it would give Chinese authorities access to sensitive data on millions of Americans, things like HIV status and private messages. The US government even imposed a June 2020 deadline for Kunlun to sell Grindr, a deadline the firm has now met. Francois, this is maybe part of a particular case, but really part of a growing trend here as Washington is starting to scrutinize app developers for all that really sensitive data that they hold, not just Grindr.
All right, many thanks for that, Cole Stangler. We'll have the closing word on Wall Street later.